Oh.
We
Hello,
yeah, hello.
Hello, Shelley. How you doing?
I'm good, Vimal. I'm good.
Yeah, we're live just in case. And you know, in the words of Davina McCall, no swearing.
Swearing, I'll do my best.
I'm finding the sunlight's really hitting my face. I thought, you know what, I'll go outside, the sun's out. Is my face looking really all kind of really bright?
I mean, it's beautiful, it's gleaming, sun's out, guns out.
Hey, it's not about me, it's about you. So lovely to have you on today, Shelley. So for those who don't know, tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name's Shelly Eva Haden. I am a professional dance artist, but do acting and teaching, education, curation as well. A bit like many artists, kind of dabble in a lot of things. But I'm originally from Worcester. So grew up in the Midlands, and then I went off to do my training at the Northern School of Contemporary Dance, which was like a dream school for me to go to. And then once I finished my training, I moved about a bit, and then actually I came back to my roots. I just absolutely love the Midlands. I love Birmingham. I think there's so much opportunity here. And that was 6 years ago. So I've been doing my craft for over 6 years now. Absolutely love it.
So do you like to see yourself as a dancer or a contemporary dancer? Is there kind of that thing where people start making that classification where they'll go, yeah, I'm a dancer, but I do ballet? Or are you one of those as well? Or are you a case of, well, because I'm contemporary, I do everything?
I like to say I'm a dance artist. It's quite a trendy term to say at the moment because it makes you sound like you can you're an artist, aren't you? You know, you make art, you create art, you perform the art. So that's the kind of go-to name at the moment. But that's what I'd like to call myself. And yeah, dancer. So I wouldn't really pin myself on a style. I guess when you say contemporary, there's modern ways of expression, I guess. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, it does. It does. So for you recently, and with this whole kind of lockdown, you've been involved in a BBC Arts project. Am I right in saying that? What was it called? The Swan Lake Ballet, Bath Ballet, was it?
It's exactly Swan Lake Bath Ballet, spot on. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about what that was about.
So we were about 2 weeks into lockdown, and I was quite worried actually, because you know many companies were phoning me and just telling me about their situation. In fact, you know, one company we both know, Creature Encounter, had, you know, we just think because they're so big outdoor festivals and performances, like how are we gonna carry on with our art? So many colleagues and were reaching out, and it was quite a scary, disappointing time. And then, you know, 2 weeks in, I had this phone call off my choreo. Actually, it wasn't a phone call, it was a text saying, "What's your bath like?" Okay. What's my bath like? It's pretty average, actually. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Did you think it was an offer?
I was like, what are you up to now?
Yeah, forget about how do you like toast or whatever, and it's what's your bath like? Straight, no messing around.
What's your bath like?
Yeah.
No messing around. And then the next step was, can you send me some pictures of your bath? You know?
Okay.
So it just goes on, and I'm like, come on. And luckily I'm quite close with this choreographer. I'd say we're friends, really. Eventually comes out with, okay, your bath's passed the audition. I think we're going to move forward. Are you available for some bathtub rehearsals? I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And then the process started. So the process was a rehearsal every day, paid work, of course, which was amazing during lockdown. And the basic idea was that I was brought in as a contemporary dancer to create some innovative movement and quite, creative ideas with the choreographer who I've worked a lot with, to generate material that we then teach to ballerinas all over the world virtually, which was incredible for me because you know, the ballet world's not my world at all. So that kind of exchange there was really exciting. And we were doing these rehearsals. I was putting my laptop, just you right now, I was putting my laptop on the toilet seat, talking to the choreographer.
We should have done this interview in the bath.
We should have done it in the bath.
damn, I've missed one there.
I mean, my partner might be in the toilet, so
that's fine. He can join in.
But this was the problem. This is it was one of the most incredible, like, eye-opening, tricky rehearsal processes that I've had, because, you know, your partner just want the toilet and you're in the middle of doing something, or, you know, the choreographer wants to try using coloured bath bombs and wants to see how that looks, and they're bringing the film crew into your screen stuff and you're trying to sort out the best angle. It was really hard process, actually, because you're managing sound and angles.
So you're doing everything
with the music.
So you're doing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was your remit then? Was your remit to create something in a bath? Was that what it was, or were you told?
So movement assistance for the choreographer. So actually, the entire when it was revealed on the telly, I was like overwhelmed, because actually from start to finish, it's the choreography that we made together with another dancer in London called Chris. There's 3 of us on the behind the scenes movement team, all of us quite contemporary. A to Z, the whole entire the film is movement that we created, and it was absolutely incredible to then see that go live on the BBC, and then from these dancers all over the world, ballerinas, you know, soloist principals from these top companies, doing your movement, and in these incredible scenes. I don't know if you saw, but there was, you know, bathtubs in outdoor areas and candles, and it's just like stunning. And most of it was done via mobile phones and things like that. So it's just, wow.
So did you ever kind of say to some of these top ballerinas, look, you're not quite doing it right. What you need to do is you need to do it like this.
It's hilarious, because we filmed the movement with all this kind of like the swan shapes and all this thing and the counts, but we recorded it. And then Corey would then send over so it's like me and you having a recorded meeting now and then sending it off. So I never actually got that interaction with them. Corey did, and Corey would say, watch the video with Shelley and myself.
So Corey Baker he was the director. He's the director.
He's fantastic. Yeah, he's amazing. I've had some great opportunities with Corey. He's just like, he's so fun to work with. He's just such a laugh. Like, you know, if you're in your bathtub rehearsing, you know, you've got to have a bit of banter. You've got to be able to work with someone that's fun and can laugh if you smash your head on the shower head, you know, which definitely happened, or, you know, or you slip over, or it was actually, you know, we had to be quite careful in that respect, because it was dangerous.
Gosh, did you have to sign loads of disclaimers before you kind of got involved?
We had a contract, you know, really well looked after.
If you die in the bath, it's your own problem.
Yeah, it's your problem. It's your home, you know, I'm not there.
So was everything filmed literally for every person involved in the video in a bath, or was there times where they weren't in a bath?
No, I think everything was all concepts that we created were for the bathtub. That was the thing that came first, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And for you, in terms of a creative process, were you kind of that whole thing of, I'm just free about it, I've got nothing or did you go and watch Swan Lake, or did you watch videos and kind of get ideas, or did you just kind of go, this is what I'm feeling at the moment? What was your process in terms of creating?
So definitely aware of Swan Lake and the choreography behind Swan Lake and the music behind Swan Lake. Although it's not my remit and my kind of taste in a way, you know, you have to consider where the origin's from. So there was, you know, times where Corey would say, there's this clip from the original Swan Lake, wouldn't it be beautiful if we created that? So actually there's this gorgeous, so many cuts that didn't actually make it into the film because it's a short film. But there's this gorgeous scene in Swan Lake where the ballerinas hold hand to hand like this. And there was this idea that we did with the filmmaker where I would have my hand on the edge of the bathtub and it'd be touching someone else's hand in their bathtub in a different part of the world. You know, there's gorgeous things like that we took from the original Swan Lake.
That's great. And did you have those moments whereby your partner was using the loo and you're kind of trying to film?
We've argued, like, and my partner Tony's incredible because he is a dancer as well. He's a choreographer based in Scotland, And he's been living with me during lockdown. Actually, he was incredible. And Corey was always saying, thank you so much, Tony, because there were so many shots that he set up that he was tall enough to do, or I was soaking wet, so Tony sorted out the camera work and then put it on the tripod. Like, I don't know, like, super grateful for Tony. But yeah, we definitely had some arguments and some tricky times where, you know, he was holding it in for about 2 hours or something, you know.
Hurry up, I want to use a loo.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's other projects that I've done, and Tony's still in with me in lockdown. It's like, God, what are you going to do next? Am I going to get, you know, kicked out of the blooming house?
Did you have problems with flooding or anything like that? Because obviously there's a lot of water. I assume there was a lot of water going everywhere.
Luckily, I'm ground floor flat, so.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have any complaints from neighbours. What's going on in your bath?
Music. I didn't have any complaints. I was very wary of the music. I like to play my music quite loud. But I think out of all the things that I could be playing out loud, Swan Lake is quite a beautiful soundtrack. So I think they could have worse neighbours.
I think was there parts of it which were, I know obviously Swan Lake the original, but Duncan Grimley, he was involved in the musical production of it. Is that right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So.
Wow, you know more than me.
He's a Birmingham-based lad.
No.
Yeah. So
see, I didn't know this connection. So Duncan
Grimley.
I'll look into that.
Yeah,
Birmingham lad.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Great guy.
Duncan. Grimley. I've noted that down. I'm going to do a bit of stalking.
Yeah, go Duncan. Yeah. So for you, you've really embraced this whole kind of lockdown. You've done this. Obviously, it's on BBC Arts, and can anyone see it on BBC Arts?
Yeah, honestly, you just Google Swan Lake Bath Ballet and it's the first thing that comes up. We've had already over 1 million views. It's gone insane. And actually, I ended up in it. Obviously, I'm the contemporary head, the kind of creativity behind it with Corey. I'm not meant to be in it at all. And then when I saw the final video, I was like, oh my God. How dare they put me in it? It's hilarious. It's like a cameo and it's quite funny because Corey's done it. Me and Corey both appear as this surprise cameo. It's so quick that you wouldn't even see us. So it was quite hilarious when that popped up. And also there's a gorgeous swan that I was so proud of when we came up with that, because you can't quite work out how the swan's been made because the camera's in such a position and it's my feet fluffing the feathers, and you can, it's just hilarious. Like, you know, I'm like, that's me, my little feet.
So where do we have to pause it on? 4 minutes, 23 seconds or something like that to go there, Shelley?
Something like that, exactly.
How long's the piece itself?
The piece itself, God, I think it must be like...
About 5 minutes or so?
Sure.
Five,
yeah,
I assume it's the length of the track. Is it the length of the track?
Yeah. Let's have a look. It's very short.
No problem. Well, I mean,
it's in Vogue magazine now. Look at that. Just come up. Yeah, it's very short. It's definitely under 10 minutes.
And in Vogue magazine as well. Gosh. Maybe you'll be at the front of Vogue magazine one day.
One day.
Yeah.
Not
next
with
year.
That swan thing though. Next year.
Just your feet.
Yeah.
You've also done a recent thing, again, online, because as I was saying, you're embracing this whole thing of lockdown. Was it Drowntown Abbey?
Yeah, it was it's called, it's quite actually it's not really much of a big deal. I don't know why I'm making it into a big deal. The main show is called Drowntown, and that was meant to go live. Drowntown. We're meant to be premiering at the Barbican literally last week. So we've come together with the creative team and revised a prologue to the live show, which is Drowntown Lockdown, which is a film. And this one, I do appear in it a lot more because I'm employed as a performer, not as a behind the scenes creative person. So this one is a little bit more dear to my heart in a way, because I've been working on it with the company for over 2 years. We started creating it such a long time ago, and me and the other 5 cast members, there's 6 of us, have formed such a bond, and it's about really hard hitting stories. A lot of them our own experiences and struggles of loneliness and isolation and mental health. And it's just been an incredible journey. And now lockdowns happened, although it's brought so much grief and unfortunate circumstances, there is, and no one can deny it, there's a lot of there's glimmers of hope that have come out of it. And for us, we've got a show that suddenly is so poignant and important because of the fact we're in lockdown. You know, we're talking about isolation. Hello. The show's never felt more important, and we premiered it on the 9th of July, 8 p.m. on Facebook Live, and the comments were incredible. People saying it's the best response, best artistic response they've seen, like responding to lockdown. And people, you know, said that it brought them to tears, that it reminded them of the vulnerable, it reminded them that they're not on their own in their feelings of loneliness. And it's really incredible to be a part of that. And that was just a whole nother process, you know.
So
again, filming from home.
Yeah, I was going to say, so was that a live performance, or was it something that's already been filmed that you kind of showcased on a set day?
No, we made it specifically for lockdown, during lockdown.
Okay.
So we got the Emergency Arts Council funding. Once we couldn't go on tour, our director, Rhiannon Faith, said, right, we've got 6 performers. We want to keep employing them. We want to keep them as a tight community because they've worked on a show that's really hard-hitting and important. We need to keep this group of performers, this safe space going. We need to keep creating work, especially during now when our work about these issues is more important than ever. So let's apply for the Arts Council Emergency Fund, but let's apply to create a new digital work that talks about everything we do in the live show, but a digital version that we can output right now. And we can actually reach a new audience, more audience members that perhaps it might interest them in the real live show, you know. And that, again, yeah, it was incredible. So again, filming from the phones, but this time, you know, a little bit darker in its theme. So beforehand, I was filming something in my bathtub with colourful bath bombs and light-hearted swan movement and a bit more commercial. The one with Rhiannon Faith Company for Drowntown Lockdown, a little bit more darker and personal. So actually, those filming days for me weren't as enjoyable as Swan Lake Bath Ballet because I was actually having to conjure some emotions. It was harder for me to perform, you know. It was feelings of twitchiness or OCD that might come up when I'm you know, through my front door and home alone, you know, or those insecurities and things. So yeah, two very different experiences. But Drowntown Lockdown's now it's premiered. It's out there for people to watch on www.rhiannonfaith.com, and it's called Drowntown Lockdown. Very beautiful, hard to watch. I wouldn't say you want to watch it before you're, I don't know, having your breakfast in the morning. Like, I don't know. Let's
watch some fun. Yeah, let's watch Shelley do some dancing, and it'll be wonderful.
Oh gosh,
that. No.
It might, you know, it's quite a hard. Yeah, it's quite a hard one. My parents, people, all my friends that saw it said, yes, it's beautiful, and you love the movement. And just had a 5-star review today come in. So it's a beautiful film, and you have to applaud that we did it in 5 days, and limited budget and all of those things. But it was hard. It was much harder than the other.
So what's next for Shelley?
Oh, what's next? I think, luckily, I do quite a lot of digital output, so I've got quite a few roles in social media and marketing, which has always gone alongside my dancing, because wherever I am in the world on tour or performing or whatever, I can always go back to the hotel at night and do my jobs for the other companies. So I'm really glad I've got that. Another hobby and interest that I'm passionate about. So it's starting to quieten down now. There's a few things potentially in the pipeline, more performance opportunities. But actually, lockdown's really allowed me to think about what Shelley wants, because a lot of my work is performing for others and bringing their vision to life as me as the vessel. But Drowntown, it's still in my head, lockdown has given me the chance, and I'm doing some coaching with DCD, which is Dancers Career Development, about what Shelley wants. And the piece that lockdown has brought has allowed me to open this cobweb of things that I've put to the back of my mind, which is, well, one, I've always been so passionate about teaching, and whenever I teach young dancers, I get such a thrill, and I love it, and they love it. I see it in their eyes, and they ask me, when am I doing another class, or when are you coming back to Birmingham? And I always feel this calling to be there for them more, because there's so much I can give them. There's so much I can give them in my dance and my body and my knowledge and technique, but also I can give them so much support with their well-being and care and self-love that I feel that dancers should have more of, because we don't. It's always critique after critique, and I feel that I can really change the mindset of some young dancers out there. So I'm starting this venture, which
Shelley Dance School.
Basically, yes. It's going to be a youth company for all female young dancers that are aspiring to be dancers, or that just want to be held in a safe space to grow and move. So that's a venture that's happening now. I'm working on my logo, I'm putting out a survey, I'm gathering some interest. It's just, it's a bit harder than before, because now I have to think about launching my company was one thing, but now I have to think about launching a company with risk assessments at the forefront, and how am I going to keep everyone safe and protected, and masks upon entry, and distance in the studio. Can I even get into a studio? Are we thinking October, or, oh my God, I think even later into the year? Do I have to think about going to a park? It's all these, as if launching your own company wasn't as daunting enough, although I'm excited about it. Now it's even more of a wobbly thing to think about because of lockdown.
Well, look, Shelley, it's been absolutely wonderful chatting to you. You've been amazing. BBC Arts, why? What can I say? Drowntown Lockdown, and obviously now setting up your own company itself. So it's wonderful, and maybe you'll be on Vogue with your feet or whatever soon, waving. Oh, look, there we go. Gosh, I'm not even going to attempt that. So actually, I should have perhaps said, I can just about put my hands on my head. No, can you touch all parts of your body? No, you can't, obviously. Can you? No, I mean, do you class yourself as a contortionist?
No, I mean, I'm flexible, but no.
Is that years of training, just in case if anyone tries to get themselves in a small box?
Please don't do this at home.
Yeah, don't do that at home. But look, Shelley, it's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. People can contact you via, what have you got, websites or Twitter?
Yeah, Shelly Eva Haden on all social media, website, all of those things.
Thank you so much for your time, and keep us updated with whatever's going on, Shelley.
Thank you, Vimal.
Anytime.